if as a country we have our focus right. And this morning, Eugene and I were having a conversation about some people raising concerns, that we should not forget about parties and their manifestos. Forget about parties and manifestos. Let's have a national plan of a sort. Yeah. I remember we had some 40-year development plan. We have not made use of that 40-year development plan. But if we focus on things that this country needs, we'll be able to make enough money, create enough jobs, and then feed ourselves. I mentioned the amount of money that we're using to import some of these, offals. We're helping build somebody else's economy. Yes. And let me come to you, Michael. How wholesome are these meats? So they don't eat the offals. No. They don't eat the cotoges and co. They import them. You're saying that when you see the size of the cotoje, the foreign one, now we am crash. You are wondering whether they are normal or whatever. How wholesome are the meats that we're eating? These foreign ones.
Yeah.
Let's compare them to the local ones.
Yeah, that is why I'm saying that for the local one, we as Kumasi Abattoir, what we do, and we are sure of hygiene, is that we have a veterinary services department that are working with us. As I speak, there are always six standby veterinary officers. What we do is immediately the animals are discharged from the various borders and they arrive in Kumasi Abattoir. First of all, we have to intercept them at the gate and then query them as to where the animals are coming from. Because in case of outbreak, you don't have to be complacent and just accept any animal. Unlike the anthrax that happened around May, yes, there was a ban of animals from Upper East region. So we have to be inquisitive and find out where the animals are coming from in the first place. And then when we get that records and finished, then the veterinary will come in and carry on what we call pre-slaughter inspection. Proper scrutiny. They will scrutinize the animals, and then we now allow them into our kraal for sale. And then after the person or the butcher or any other individual that want to come and slaughter his or her animal, because everybody is allowed to walk into the abattoir, go into the market, and then pick, then we'll kill for you. So when you acquire it and finish and we'll slaughter again, the antemortem, we don't just say, oh, we have already examined them when they were alive. No, we go into what we call post-mortem inspection. That is slaughter, inspection after slaughter. And they go deep down to make sure the meat that is coming out from Kumasi Abattoir are always wholesome. And we have our pathological finding book there. Any little thing we see, we record it, so that we can always testify that abattoir is doing good work.
Question
is how animal that is having
how well do we know that this same process is what is done in Brazil?
That is why
done in India.
We don't know how they go.
Let me even come in here. You see,
Charlie.
Viscerals like the intestine, what we are bringing here. Even packaging it over there and bring it. You can't package it and bring it here. You have to add some chemicals.
Preserve it because it's going to be a very long time on the high seas.
And that alone make it very dangerous for human consumption. That alone make it very, and people did not know. We even don't know that the type of animals that we are eating.
They are importing the visitor.
And that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
That if a horse is the number 8 meat people consume in the world. Many people did not know that. And looking at our culture here, there are certain things that we don't eat.
We don't eat horses. So if they bring it, but that, so I spoke to somebody from the
donkeys,
FDA. If they're bringing horses and donkeys for us to eat,
how can we know?
I'm going to say this. I'm not mentioning the name of anybody.
They do
no, they do what?
The donkeys and
they do what?
They bring.
They do what?
They bring it to
no, what he's saying, you're not getting it.
Yes.
Do you eat horse? Do you eat horse?
Animals that they are bringing.
No, do you eat horse?
No.
Do you eat the viscerals of a horse? No. The offals of a horse? No. So if it's coming and it's packaged as offals for a cattle, you don't know whether it's horse or donkey.
Or donkey.
You understand? That is what he's saying. They might label it as cattle, but it could be anything. Now, I spoke to some FDA friends of mine this morning and asked them what they do in terms of inspection when these foreign offals and viscerals and the cotoges are coming in. I asked him, how well do you do the inspection for us to know that they are wholesome and we are safe? The first thing the person did was sighed. He waited for like 5-10 seconds and said, David, do you know why I sighed? I said, no. He says, we don't know.
We don't know.
That doesn't matter.
And it is the truth I'm telling our listeners this morning. How do I determine what the wholesome meat is, Michael?
Yeah, that is why I'm saying that the wholesome meat can only be determined by the veterinary services.
But the naked eye cannot see it.
Which are working with us. Naked eye, if you are not a professional, you can't know. So that is why you have to always look for your meat from commercial abattoir, all meat that are sorted from commercial abattoir, because they are always there with us to go through proper scrutiny. And we don't compromise anything. Even if an animal costs around 18,000, 16,000, some of them are now 16, 18,000, and there is an infection, it is condemned.
Okay.
And then we bury it sanitarily.
Okay.
With chemicals so that nobody can go and exhume it. So we are sure of quality so far as commercial abattoir is concerned. But where the offers and these people are coming, we don't know how they handled it. Sometimes we even see it and you can see that it is not even properly washed.
Yeah, the one at the foreign one.
Yes.
You can tell them. And so if they're not properly washed, go wash it yourself. Because even the one that you buy from Mayanka, sometimes they're not properly washed. You wash them yourself. But my concern is the fatty nature of it.
You see the fecal content in some of those offers. But you cannot see that. Abattoir we're having potable water, and which we wash our meat very well.
And even when you go to the abattoir, maybe you have your own. This Christmas, for example, somebody will be able to chill upon chin. Take it to the Mayanka, the abattoir. They'll slaughter it for you and then treat it well for you. That's what they do there. Leo Stanley, you say you have a question?
Yes, when Chief was speaking, he made mention of the fact that with chocolate, for instance, if